Alright. So, basically how it's gonna work is we do our whole thing. You guys are just gonna sit over there in that chair. There should be someone else over here to like wave you on where you guys want to go. But basically, when Oscar will be saying the woodworking club announcement, so woodworking club is up and running again on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 35. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Wilkin in the wood shop. That's when you guys will come on. So the camera will be on him, so they won't see you. And then you just come sit over here, and then I'll just introduce you, and then you guys can introduce yourselves and say exactly what you're talking about. And then the video will play, and then you guys, while the video is playing, you guys can go off. And then when you're sitting here, you want to look into that screen over there. Yeah. So that's where our script will be just scrolling through there, and behind that is the camera.
Do we have to like speak really loud?
Yeah, speak a little loudly. This is the only mic we have, and it's not the greatest.
Okay.
So yeah, speak loudly,
Okay.
not too loud.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good if you need to take that one, but. Sorry about that. So we had you guys on right in the middle of the broadcast. Yeah, so woodworking club.
While they're announcing
Woodworking club, you're gonna come and then you're gonna be standing here, and you're gonna as quietly as possible come up and you're gonna sit next to Max.
Here's everything, so we have just one mic that's like.
Okay, cool. And then after you guys are done saying whatever you want to say, whatever it's in like the pad, presumably, we're gonna Oscar will start saying this. Tomorrow is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. But technically on.
No, they have a video on the.
Right, you guys do have a video in there, don't you? I will.
Which I'll speak first on volleyball materials, and then she'll talk about Terry Fox, and then after the Terry Fox,
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
let
So.
the anchors know so that they know they don't have to announce anything.
Okay.
And then as soon as the video starts, you'll see it on the monitor. And you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so we got these folks. Guys, can you come in here, please?
Yeah, he's trying to tell them what you guys are.
Hi. You did? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they'll be coming on during the woodworking club announcement, and introduce them, whatever, and then they'll say their thing, and then they've got a video
Yeah.
that we're gonna play, and while that video's playing, they're gonna come off. All as well? Cool. Yeah, that should be the most complicated thing. Perfect. Yeah, you guys can hang out in your room or in here or wherever you like.
That's exactly what I told her. Done this for 4 years. I know what I'm doing. Max.
And I'm Oscar, and this is LVTV. We acknowledge, respect, and honour the First Nations in whose traditional territory the school district operates, and all Aboriginal peoples who reside within the boundaries of SD8.
There is a rugby practice Thursday in the LVR upper field at 4 p.m. We have a game day today in Castlegar. Make sure that both your permission to play forms and travel forms are signed in and handed at the office. If you do not have your permission to play forms handed in, you cannot play.
And that would be quite a shame. Woodworking Club is up and running again on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3:30 till 5 p.m. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Wilkin in the woodshop room, which is room 400.
And now, here's rec leadership to tell us about volleyball and the Terry Fox Run.
Hi, I'm Israel.
And I'm Sola and work from rec. And I just wanted to let you guys know that volleyball intramurals will be starting up. We're going to have the sign-out sheet outside the gym. And so bring your friends. It'll be every Thursday and Wednesday at lunch.
Just a reminder that today is the Terry Fox Run. Teachers have been emailed their run times, which are starting at 2 p.m. The route is out the LVR parking lot, up and around Selkirk 10th Street campus, and back on 8th Street. Please remember that masks are not mandatory outside, but please do your best to stay socially distanced while you're walking. After the run, you'll go back to your class where you'll either continue with class or be dismissed. If you haven't donated yet, you can donate at the office, in the jar, or on the LVR website. Just look for Terry Fox. Please try to participate 100%. Even though we know it's raining, Terry ran in all conditions. This year's motto is try like Terry, but try to have fun. Fundraiser total will be announced on Friday, but you can continue to bring in money until Friday afternoon. Bring it to Mr. McComb. The class who has the most money will have a pizza party, so try to bring in your best fundraising efforts. And now we have a short video.
The legend of Terry Fox cannot be understated. He united a nation while raising awareness about a healthcare issue which affects far too many people worldwide: cancer. Terry Fox was born in Winnipeg in 1958 to parents Rolly and Betty Fox. In 1966, Terry and his family moved to British Columbia, eventually settling in Port Coquitlam. Growing up, Terry's strong family ties would come to serve him well. Each summer, the Fox family looked forward to returning to Manitoba to visit relatives. They had a special bond with their grandparents, Marion Gladue and John Wark, who owned a large property in the small town of Melita, Manitoba, where they grew potatoes and other vegetables. Marion's influence on the extended and large family became very evident as Terry grew up. They were taught to respect elders, work hard, and remain dedicated and tenacious. Terry's grandmother, Marion Gladue's Métis family history is well connected to both the iconic bison hunters of the plains and to the 1869-70 government of Louis Riel, founder of the province of Manitoba. These families became associated with the Red River community of St. Norbert and St. Francis Xavier at the time, comprised of seasonal bison hunters and mixed farmers. In the mid-1800s, the families moved to North Dakota, where in 1910 Marion Gladue was born. Her father, Claude, was drafted into service during the First World War. About this time, the family returned to Manitoba. Marion Gladue married John Wark in 1928, and within 10 years, their child, Betty Wark, was born. Betty and Roland Fox married in 1956, and Terry Fox was born 2 years later, on July 28, 1958. In 1977, Terry was diagnosed with bone cancer. His doctor said his best chance of survival was to amputate his leg, followed by chemotherapy. As he awaited surgery, his former high school basketball coach gave him a Runner's World magazine with an article about an amputee who ran in the New York City Marathon. The article inspired Terry. Determined to help those he left behind in the cancer wards, he decided he was going to run across Canada to raise funds for cancer research in what became known as the Marathon of Hope.
Kids my age and younger, and you just can't leave something like that and try and forget it, and I couldn't anyway. I had to try and do something about it.
On April 12, 1980, he dipped his artificial leg into the Atlantic Ocean in St. John's, Newfoundland. By the time he reached Ontario, he was a national hero, with hundreds of appearances organized by the Canadian Cancer Society. He met Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau and many other dignitaries. But as momentum for his run continued to grow, Terry began to experience additional challenges with fatigue and a nagging cough. Then on September 1st, 1980, after running for 143 days and covering 5,373 kilometers on the outskirts of Thunder Bay, Ontario, Terry was forced to stop due to the return of cancer. He was unable to return to the road, and he died a year later, on June 28, 1981, his Grandma Marion's birthday. On April 21, 2015, in Abbotsford, BC, the Métis Nation British Columbia President Bruce Dumont, on behalf of the MNBC Board of Directors and the Métis Nation, awarded the Order of the Sash posthumously to Terry Fox in honor of Terry's many contributions to our nation and all people. Darrell Fox, Terry's brother, accepted the Order of the Sash on behalf of his brother. Today, we continue to recognize Terry's legacy. Please help keep the Marathon of Hope alive by participating in the annual Terry Fox Run. We hope that Indigenous athletes will be inspired by Terry's example of courage and determination to be the best they can be.
Tomorrow is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This is a time for us to reflect deeply on the truth of Indigenous peoples' history, the truth in these stories, and how we can all move forward towards right relationships with Indigenous peoples. Today, we wear orange to honour the survivors of residential school systems and to honour those students who did not make it home. Let us now pause to honour all Indigenous peoples. Here is the Shkwetmek Honour Song.
The legend of
The lunch special in the landing today is Bannock Tacos.
Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time on LVTV.